So beginning with our operations menu, right now, what you see is everything from quoting, customer orders, work orders, dispatch board. I'm going to begin with the dispatch board, which is essentially the heart of the operations menu. My dispatch board features a list of my employees here on the side, as well as the filters to be able to, zone in on specific technicians if the list is obviously too big. Now, at the bottom, I have a list of my work orders, some that have been opened, some that have been assigned. The exercise we're about to practice is the ability to create a customer quote and also how to handle a service call. Now, when I right-click on my customer quote right here, it's going to lead me to my quote page. Now, if I'm dealing with a customer that I've already done business with, his information will already be added in. If it's somebody new, I just right-click and I click on New, and I add in the new information right here. What we're going to do is we're going to autofill right here. Here's the customer's address, the billing address. You have the worksite address, so I can choose add a customer's address. I can type in all the customer's information. I can set in due dates, reference numbers, comments. Most importantly, we have the ability to create a work order or multiple work orders. I'm going to add a task, and I also have the ability to add multiple tasks, but let's just add one task. So as you can see, I have my search filters at the top if I want to search by code, by ID, by category. So what we want to do is we want an installation. I have the ability to manipulate the estimated time, the hourly rate, the base charge. So right here, I have a list of all the parts that I have available within my company. So let's just go on and say we're going to install a Dave Lennox signature. I click on OK. I save and close. I have the ability to print, fax, email, straight from the software, the quote that I have just created for my customer. So you see the reference number is attached to it, as well as the task, the parts. Now, in order to create a new quote, I had to right click on my quote right here to create the new one. When I left click, it's going to lead me to my quote table. So I have the information such as phone number, date created, the company I did it for, but most importantly the status. So we're going to go into the quote that we've just created for ABC Construction. We can go in and see what the work order details were. If there is any additional work that I need to create, I can just again add a task. I will click on this work order and I will accept it. It will ask me, do you want to create a customer order from this quote? Once I say yes, the message is going to tell me that it's a customer job 178 has been created. Once I refresh my dispatch board, I will have the new job, the new work order available to me and ready to be assigned to any one of my employees. We will select Bob. A simple drag and drop. And now Bob has a job from ABC Construction that is estimated at 8 hours. The process for a service call is quite simple. It is, if I right click on my customer order, I will state in again who I'm doing the job for. So this time we're doing the job for the Royal Bank. We choose the customer's address. We add the work order. So as you can see, it's very similar. So this is why the software is very user-friendly, because a lot is similar and a lot is recognizable. Add the detail, add my task, and for the companies that won't know what the task is, it's very simple. We'll just put it under service call. So service call, service, I could state it right here. Put in the estimated time because I'm not quite sure. He's only going to know when he arrives. I save and close. I save and close. And now all I have to do is once that work order has been is going to appear right here at the bottom. My next step is the only thing I have to do is pretty much assign it over to the employee that I'd like, to give this service call to. Now I have the work order that I've just created for the Royal Bank. I'm going to assign this over to Regent. Simple drag and drop, and the information has now been processed over to Regent. Now, if you are interested in ServiceMate Mobile, the process is quite simple. Throughout the day, what's going to be happening is we're going to be setting a timer in your web menu. And what that timer is going to do is it's going to automatically refresh everything that needs to be transferred over to the mobile devices of any of your workers. So as you can see, what's going to happen is the transfer via web service is going to be constantly, as it refreshes, it's going to be transferring all the documents that need to go to Bob and all the documents that need to go to Reja. So once this will state that the transfer has been completed successfully, you will then know that Bob and Reja have received their work orders. We will now go and take a look at what it will look at like from Bob and Reja's perspective. On their smartphones, it'll state ServiceMate Web. They will only have to indicate their username and their password, and once they have done so, they will then have the ability to retrieve their work orders or create new work orders. I will show you how to do both. So we're going to check the work order list right now. I scroll over and I see that Bob has been assigned 178-1. As you can see, the new one is 178-1. Bob just needs to click on the information. Once he will do so, he will have the reference number, the service unit, but most important, the tasks. Installation, what's the estimated time, electrical, so I see my tasks, what parts, and if there are any adjustments that need to be made out in the field, any additional parts that he needed to use or any additional tasks, he will have access to a list of his part card as well as a series of tasks that he can create. Bob can update the information, so the work order time took 3 hours, and the electrical took about 4 hours. Once he will update that information, the information that he updated from out in the field will now appear in the work order out onto my dispatch board. So essentially what we are trying to do is always keep you connected even when you're out in the field to your back office. So it alleviates a lot of paperwork, and it can pretty much handle your work orders in real time, and this will essentially lead you to sending out your invoicing a lot quicker. As you can see, the transfer has been completed successfully, and keep in mind, like I mentioned, this is going to be an automatic refresh throughout the day. I go over to the work order. I will go in and check out the details of my work order. And as you can see, the addition that I had made out in the field is apparent right here in the work order. I have the time that's been adjusted. So whoever's job it is to complete the status, whether it be the person out in the field or back in admin, and whoever job it is to financially verify, this will set the system up to enable it to be sent over to our accounting menu, where we can generate all the customer orders that have been verified and completed. So as you can see, the job from ABC Construction has now been verified and completed. I will generate, and I will select which invoices I would like to print, fax, email, or file. I preview, and here's my invoice. Once I refresh, I have now sent the information into my export, and from the export, what you can do is you can select which invoices you would like to export right into Simply Accounting, QuickBooks, Business Vision Advantage. I can process that information. My accounting software turns into a real accounting software handling all of my financial balances. If I ever need to simply take a look at all of my quotes that I've done in the past, as mentioned before, you can click on the quotes and you'll see the open, the accepted. But say if I have too many quotes and I don't want to scroll down, and if you know by specific customer, by location, by specific date, by a range of dates, you will have the ability to search from a range of dates. All the jobs that I've done right here are now available to me, and I can go back into them. And the same goes for any of my customer orders. I have filters available to me, and I can go and take a look at some that are open, waiting, completed, whatever the case may be. And as you can imagine, the same is available to me in my work orders. I can complete, open, assign. I have my filters available to me, very specific. The more specific you are in the filters, the more specific the search will be naturally. Now, if I ever need to do any direct purchasing, I right click. I could choose my supplier. I can add a part, add multiple parts. Very simple. My accounting availability is here for me. I click on OK. Now I can print, fax, email over the direct purchase that I need to make from one of my suppliers. Or I can send this off with one of my employees and he can complete the purchase order for me. If ever I need to make any direct invoicing, so aka any counter sales, very simple. State that it's counter sale. And if you have kind of like in the grocery stores, if you have a little scanner that you have attached to the computer, you can scan the part. If not, you can just add the part right here that's been bought. You can set term if you'd like and add any instructions if necessary. Here it is. Same goes for if you need to create a packing slip.